In the heart of the digital market, we find the truth. This is Analyzer, your edge in the market.
Today, we're going to look at something pretty amazing. A real-world case study showing how a small, totally manageable monthly saving can turn into an absolute fortune over time. Let's jump right in.
All right, let's just kick things off with the big question, right? The one that stops so many of us in our tracks. Do you actually need to be some kind of market genius to build real wealth? Well, what we're about to go through might just change your mind on that.
Because here's the thing, for most people, the really tough part isn't deciding what to invest in. It's this constant, stressful game of trying to guess when to buy low and when to sell high. It's called timing the market, and honestly, it's pretty much an impossible task.
But what if you could just take that whole problem off the table? What if there was a way to invest where timing the market perfectly just didn't matter at all?
And that's where this simple but super powerful idea comes in, the systematic investment plan, or what everyone calls an SIP. The concept is so straightforward. You just invest a fixed amount of money on a regular schedule, say every month, into a mutual fund. That's it. No frantic decisions, no trying to predict the future. So how does this solve our problem? Well, with an SIP, you're buying in regularly, whether the market is soaring or dipping. This has a fantastic effect called cost averaging. See, when prices are down, your fixed amount buys you more units. When prices are up, it buys you fewer. Over time, it all averages out beautifully. Plus, it builds discipline, it's super flexible, you can start with tiny amounts, and it's often more tax efficient too. Okay, enough theory. Let's get to the actual proof. We're going to rewind the clock and look at a real 15-year stretch from May 1999 to May 2014. And this wasn't some calm, easy period. No way. This window included the dot-com bust and the 2008 global financial crisis. It was a serious stress test. And the amount we're going to use for this study? Just 3,000 rupees a month. A totally reasonable number, right? We're not talking about some giant inheritance, just a consistent, small saving. So here's the game plan. 3,000 rupees a month, every single month for 15 years straight. If you do the math, the total amount of cash you actually put in over that whole time is 5.4 lakh rupees. Got it? 5.4 lakhs. Remember that number. Now this is where it gets really fun. Let's see what happened to that 5.4 lakhs when it was invested using this simple SIP method into 7 different real-world mutual funds over that very turbulent decade and a half.
First up, the ICICI Prudential Top 100 Fund. Remember our total investment of 5.4 lakhs? Well, it grew to almost 24 lakh rupees. That's an annualized return of 17.8%, which basically just means that on average, your money grew by that much every single year. What a start!
Next, let's look at the SBI Magnum Multiplier Plus Fund. Same exact investment, same time frame, and boom. The final value was over 24 lakhs with an even better annualized return of 18.1%. We're definitely seeing a pattern here.
How about the Franklin India Blue Chip Fund? That same 5.4 lakhs blossomed into nearly 26 lakhs. The annualized return creeps up again to 18.7%. This shows you that the first result was no fluke. This strategy is consistently powerful.
Okay, now things start to get really wild. With the Birla Sun Life Equity Fund, our little investment grew to over 28 lakhs. And check this out. We've just crossed a huge milestone, a 20% annualized return over 15 years. That is just phenomenal.
And the hits keep on coming. With Franklin India Primo Plus, the final amount jumped to almost 31 lakh rupees. The annualized return? A staggering 21%.
Now let's check in with one of the heavyweights, the HDFC Top 200 Fund. Wow, an incredible result here. The final value soared to nearly 35 lakh rupees. That's a 22% average annual return, consistently through all that market chaos.
And for our grand finale, the HDFC Equity Fund, the same 5.4 lakh investment, it grew to a final pot of nearly 38 lakh rupees. 38 lakhs from just 3,000 a month. That's an annualized return of 23%. Just absolutely astonishing.
So let's just pause for a second and look at the whole picture. On one screen, just look at these numbers. In every single one of these cases, our simple, disciplined 5.4 lakh investment turned into a serious fortune. The returns are just consistently incredible. It didn't really matter which fund you picked.
You know, this quote from the source material really hits the nail on the head. There are 2 secret ingredients at work here. First, the magic of compounding, where your earnings start to earn their own money. And second, time.
The earlier you start, the more runway you give that compounding effect to do its thing.
So here is the single most important takeaway from all of this. While it's cool to see which fund performed the best, that's not the real lesson. The true hero of this story is the method itself. It was the discipline, the consistency, the long-term commitment that delivered these kinds of life-changing results.
We've seen what 15 years of a simple, disciplined plan can accomplish, and that just leaves one final powerful question for you to think about. What will your next 15 years look like?